Calls for a boycott of the Oscars awards ceremony in the US are growing over the Academy's second straight year of mostly white nominees. The film director Spike Lee and the actress Jada Pinkett Smith each said on Monday that they would not be attending this year's ceremony. This is an extract from the message that Jada Pinkett Smith put up on her Facebook page.
The Academy has the right to acknowledge whomever they choose, to invite whomever they choose. And now I think that it's our responsibility now to make the change. Maybe it is time that we pull back our resources and we put them back into our communities, into our programs, and we make programs for ourselves that acknowledge us in ways that we see fit, that are just as good as the so-called mainstream ones.
Jada Pinkett Smith there. So, is it time for young black filmmakers to turn their backs on Hollywood? Or is it still a place to dream of? We can talk now to Ricky Tyree, an aspiring black filmmaker based in Atlanta, Georgia. Do you still dream of Hollywood, Ricky?
Not really. I can't say I dream of it. I just really want to create films and get the respect for it. But Hollywood itself is never the goal for me.
Why?
It's really more about the glamour and the stereotypes, so to say. I think it's more smoke and mirrors than anything else.
You talk about stereotypes. What particularly in terms of black actors, filmmakers, so on? What kind of streets are people forced down?
As a writer, the most common question I get is, what type of person do you see playing this character when I, present the screenplay, whenever I pitch one? And depends on what you say is how they feel. If I was to say I wanted Idris Elba to play and they feel like Leonardo is a better fit, then you have to be stuck with choosing either taking the money and letting them change your character, or you have to just hold your ground and say no.
What choice do you make?
Honestly, I kind of hold my ground. It depends on what it is. There are some screenplays where I'm open-minded, and then there's others where, I feel like it has to be done. I have this screenplay called Cousin, and it's the first time I felt like I had to make sure the lead character was black for relatable reasons within the screenplay.
Mm-hmm. But has that made it, do you think, harder to get that film made?
It has, because investors in Hollywood feel like a dominating black cast won't do well in the industry. That's why a lot of our films don't get the bigger budgets. I believe Creed, which was an amazing film, was only given $35 million compared to the hundreds that other films get. And this is from the Rocky series.
Yeah, sure, which is widely known around the world, and you would think might have some sort of popular appeal. Right.
But is it something that the system just has to be fixed? Because we're slowly proving them wrong. We've had Concussion, Straight Outta Compton. It's Right Along 2 just came out top of the box office this weekend. The numbers are stacking up, but Hollywood is still basically saying no.
So your feeling is not that there are not sufficient numbers of black films that should be recognised at the Oscars, that there could have been black actors nominated. It's simply that the decision-making process excludes them.
Yeah, you have to look at who's making the decisions and judging the films, and can they even relate to a lot of the films that are out there? Because it's not just African American, but we're also forgetting about a lot of Hispanic, Asian, Indian, and any other ethnicities who also are in the filmmaking.
So it's a broad problem.
Yes, sir. But for us, Ryan Coogler definitely should have been nominated. I'm not going to knock down anybody who was nominated for the Oscars, but to have nobody. The people that they picked from Straight Outta Compton and Creed were white out of all the African Americans that were involved in those films. It's a bit odd.
That's Ricky Tyree. Thank you very much indeed. Just want to read you a statement. The Academy President Cheryl Boone Isaacs just released,
Who herself is black.
who herself is black, in response to the accusation of the lack of diversity in the Oscar nominations. She acknowledges the wonderful work of the year's nominees, says, while we celebrate their extraordinary achievements, I'm both heartbroken and frustrated about the lack of inclusion. This is a difficult but important conversation, and it's time for big changes. The Academy is taking dramatic steps to alter the makeup of our membership. In the coming days and weeks, we'll conduct a review of our membership recruitment in order to bring about much-needed diversity in our 2016 class and beyond.